All right, let's look at parts D and E of this problem. Part D says, does the graph have y-axis symmetry, origin symmetry, or neither? Okay, and we're talking about the graph of this polynomial function right here. Well, before I talk about the graph, you know what? I like to graph the function first. So I'm going to do part E first. I'm going to graph the function first. Now, if we want to graph this polynomial function, we're going to use what we learned in A, B, and C to graph it. So back in part B, we learned that the x-intercepts are 0, 3, and -5. So x-intercepts are going to be 0, 3, and -5. Okay, so let's go and mark our x-intercepts. 0, 3, and -5. Okay, the other thing to know from part A is that it rises to the left and rises to the right. That's the end behavior. So I know that the graph is going to end up like this and like this. So if I'm going to follow along my graph and I'm going to hit these x-intercepts, I also need to know if it's going to cross through or if it's going to bounce off. Let me go back and look at part B. I see that it is going to touch and turn around at 0, so it's going to bounce off of 0, and it's going to cross through 3 and -5. So I know that it is going to cross through at -5, cross through at 3, and bounce off. So let me start to draw it. I might need to erase and redraw. If I start way up at the top, I know that I am going to cross through. It'll curve. I will bounce off of 0, and then I will cross through at 3. Okay, so this is generally what my graph is going to look like. All right, did I predict that right, that it rises in the end? Yes. Okay, the other thing to note is if your multiplicity is 2, yeah, it bounces off like it does right here. If your multiplicity is 1, it crosses through pretty straight. If your multiplicity is 3, it makes a little curve when it crosses through. So my multiplicity is 3 right here at the number 3. So it is going to make a little curve when it crosses through here at 3. Okay, and this is just for all the math people out there. It's going to make a little, like a little snake curve when it crosses through at 3. Okay. Now, having said that, I don't know how low this graph goes. Okay, I don't know if it's there. It may be way off the charts. It's probably off the charts. But what's important here is, so let's not pay attention to these numbers. What's important here is seeing the shape. Okay, and I'm going to pick this up out of multiple choice. So I'm looking for this basic shape. Okay, and I went and looked at what the graph really looks like. It looks a little more like this. And of course, we don't know how low it goes here, and that's not what's important to us right here. It's just the shape that's important. Now, part D asks us, is this symmetric? So, is it symmetric about the y-axis? Well, I look at my y-axis. I look at the right. Is this the exact same thing as what's over here? No, it's not. So it's not symmetric about the y-axis. And then if I took this and flipped it over and then flipped it over again, is that the same thing that I see down here? No, it's not. Okay, so this one again is it symmetric about the origin, the y-axis symmetry, origin symmetry, or neither? And the answer here is neither.